Can you dig into something that you said, and it was interesting, but I'd like you to expand on that idea of being an ensemble, but you mentioned that it's a place to exist and perform safely? Or did you mean more, how did you mean like this, what is the safety around
I just
that
mean that
as a profession?
I think we as dancers do performing arts as young people because we love it, and it's a place where we resonate, and certainly dance has become a very popular thing and a very accepted thing, and it's always been accepted in certain worlds or for certain people.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking personally, there's something that I've experienced that is performing. That is the joy that I feel when I perform, and I feel like it's a pocket of the world that envelops me and like gives me this hug and is like, you are valid in all the ways that make you different that you always saw.
Yeah.
And so therefore it's a safe place for me to exercise my heart.
Yeah.
And I imagine that's something that many of us have in common because, it starts out as a dream, but it very quickly becomes a really, really difficult, arduous career that breaks your body down and then takes you away from your family. And
well, I think if I hear you right, I'm reading the vulnerability of the performer, and that ties back to just being vulnerable enough to submit yourself to maybe you're insular and shy, but you're called to be a performer, and you have to be vulnerable in that. And then you have to be vulnerable in the audition process, and then you have to be, and what I find so fascinating about a lot of performers and actors and comics is they overcome this almost paralyzing fear of their own characters. Either they're insecure, they're whatever, but they find something through performing which almost is in direct conflict of what they want to express in the way that you've articulated what performing does for you. And maybe just talk about the special sort of camaraderie that happens around stage performance and these people that are like-minded, probably like individuals in their thinking.
Yeah, there is certainly a special community bond that's built within a show, any show, because there is this vulnerability and there's an understanding that we're all stepping out in a space to do something that's kind of crazy. I mean, if you asked anybody in the audience to step out on the stage, I'm sure there's people who would say, absolutely, I've been dreaming about this moment my whole life. Please put me on that stage, and that's wonderful. But there's also, I think, a lot of people who would say, God, no way. In fact, there's a moment in Hamilton when he is singing Hurricane, and the ensemble, everybody's just sitting on stage, existing, listening. And the track that I was in Chicago, I was able to look straight out at the audience for a minute and a half without having to do anything, and I'm not moving my eyes, but I'm trying to take in through the periphery and just kind of see all the people that are staring at us. And it's a shocking thing to actually let that information, be like, oh my God, there's 1,700 people out there just staring at us. What am I doing?
Right.
It's overwhelming. So there is a support because we all know somewhere in our, deepest lizard brain, like, this is freaky.
It's an unusual sort of dynamic, just the idea of this human performance and expression. It's art embodied on stage, and it's that's the thing I kept thinking about too with Hamilton. And I didn't mean to sidetrack you from continuing your thought, but it's just such rarefied air that you have Lynn writing this, the music, the choreography, the costuming, the stage as a character, the texture of it, the colorscape of it, like that's so dependent on this. And it all comes together into this explosive experience,
Mm-hmm.
And that is rare when all those fundamentals, and that gets back to the phenomenon question I think about Hamilton and other famous productions, but they have that rare special sauce that happens, and it's rare and to be appreciated, and that's why tens of thousands of people in Grand Rapids came to see this run. It's amazing.
Grand Rapids certainly turned out.
This Full Exposure podcast episode has been made possible through the support of Metro Health, University of Michigan Health, and Dr. Peter Hahn, who believe that creativity and the arts are essential to a rich, healthy, and fulfilling life.